Eli Manning be a Hall of Famer in the NFL? We had some nice little conversations. Already know how you feel about it based on how we talked the other day when we were having a little Skip and Shannon dispute over Aaron Rodgers and Eli Manning's career. Which one of those guys will be a Hall of Famer for sure? A shoe-in Hall of Famer first bout, and the other one might not make it. So Nate, give me your opinions, whatever you want to say, and we're going to see what happens in this little Skip and Shannon V2. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Hell yeah. Yes. He knocked off the Patriots. I mean, that's all he. We make a big thing. The Hall of Fame, the criteria nowadays for the Hall of Fame, even the Pro Bowl and the All Pro teams, it's the criteria is a little bit different. You've heard Hall of Famers in itself speak on it. You've heard the Deion Sanders, the Jerry Rices of the world, to speak on what it is to be a Hall of Famer, and the criteria has changed drastically. Again, Eli Manning is going to get into the Hall of Fame. Last name alone that carries so much weight, but also on the fact that he beat arguably the greatest quarterback and the greatest coach to ever do it in the Super Bowl twice. He ended again. The Patriots, they were the last team to go undefeated regular season. With an amazing team. Eli Manning literally knocked that team off. Then came back 2 years later. Was it 2 years or a year? And another year later, yeah, 2 years later, and done the same thing again against a Patriot team, a really good Patriot team. Um, Again, the criteria is going to be is different, but the weight alone of him beating Bill Belichick twice and Bill Belichick not being able to get his lick back, that right there is that's all the weight that he needs to get into the Hall of Fame. Outside of the fact that his last name is Manning.
Weight alone, huh?
Yeah,
Weight alone of him beating Bill Belichick twice. So you're not going to tell me that when Eli Manning played Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, and all they scored was 17 and 14 points in those two Super Bowls, you're going to tell me that that was all Eli Manning. You're not going to say, okay, well, that undefeated team that Eli Manning beat is probably the greatest offense we've ever seen step foot in the NFL. And you're going to tell me a defense that holds them to two possessions in an entire game of the Super Bowl is not going to have an impact on beating Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Eli Manning, all he had to do was be a competent quarterback, and they win that game because of that defense. You could put, I'm about to have the biggest take in the world, Nate. You could put this quarterback in, and he does the same job. I'm going to give you a player A and a player B, and you're going to have to tell me which one you think is Eli Manning. You ready? And I'm about to have the biggest take in the breakdown history. Now, these quarterbacks, first round selections coming out of college. They're both first round selections, and both of them have at least one Super Bowl MVP under their belt. I'm not going to tell you which one has more because then you're going to know which one it is. Okay, both of them
you about to
have.
talk about Big Ben and Eli
Oh, am I going to talk about Big Ben?
because you talking about Super Bowl winning quarterback, right?
I haven't
All right,
given
go
you the
ahead.
rest of the statistics.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
both of them have at least 4,000 passing completions. One has almost to 5,000 and one has a little over 4,000. One has a 60.3, player A has a 60.3% completion percentage for their career, and player B has a 61.6% completion percentage for their career. Well, player A's passer rating for their career is 84.1, and player B's passer rating for their career is 84.2. Now, one has thrown 244 picks, and one has thrown 245 TDs. That's player B. Now, one has thrown almost as many picks, and they both have almost not real. It's not super close, but their passing completions are a couple hundred away from each other. Now, you have player B, 60.3% completion percentage, Super Bowl MVP, has an 84.1% career or 84.1 passer rating. And then you have player B, Super Bowl MVP, 61.6 completion percentage and an 84.2 passer rating. Which one is Eli Manning? Is it player A, Nate, or is it player B? Which player sounds like it has had the better career?
It was player A that no player A threw the most picks. We know Eli threw picks, 245 of them.
So player A is Eli Manning.
And Ben Roethlisberger is player B because of the
Is
fact.
Ben Roethlisberger player B?
Yeah, because you talking about the same draft class. There was only two quarterback or three
I
quarter.
didn't say they were the same draft class. I
You
just
didn't
said
say
they were
that.
both picked in the first round.
Wait, hold on. You said they weren't.
I just said they were both picked in the first round. I didn't say that it was the same draft class.
One has a Super Bowl,
They both have Super Bowls.
Super Bowl MVP.
Both of them. At least one.
Both of them first round.
I'm playing with your mind.
Yeah, because you said both of them first round, and they have one Super Bowl, at least one. They one Super Bowl
At
MVP.
least one, yeah. They both have at least one Super Bowl MVP.
See that limits the area
So
because
you're going to say the one with less completion percentage, the one that has a little bit, really their passer rating's the same, but the one that has a little bit worse passer rating, worse completion percentage, more picks, is player A is Eli Manning. Do you want to know who player B is, Nate?
hold on, wait, hold on. How many touchdowns does player B throw?
245. Both horrible in the regular season. Neither of them have won an All Pro.
I really, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. 200.
Neither one has an All Pro, and I'm telling you, Eli Manning's never won an All Pro.
Neither one of them has an All Pro.
Nope.
Neither one of them. Yeah, we know that that
Nate, do you want me to tell you who player B is?
oh my God, wait, because I want to. Dude, you said neither one of them has an All Pro.
Nope. You're not going to get it because I'm going to make the craziest take ever. And
Joe,
you're going to go, huh?
Joe Namath?
No. No, not Joe Namath. Player B's name is Joe. Player B is none other than Joe Flacco. Eli Manning is a glorified Joe Flacco. Think about it. Think about it. Great in the postseason. Great defenses all time. You can say, okay, well, Joe Flacco did this. He won a Super Bowl MVP. Think about who was on that defense, Nate. Think about who was on that defense and then tell me, oh, Joe Flacco won that Super Bowl. Joe Flacco beat Jim Harbaugh on that Ravens team. No, Nate. Eli Manning is a glorified Joe Flacco. And you can come at me in the comments all you want. Listen to me. I'm going to say it again. Eli Manning is a glorified Joe Flacco. They both went to the postseason with stellar defenses, almost a top in the league. Who did Joe Flacco beat, Nate, in the Mile High Miracle?
Peyton.
Peyton Manning.
With God rest his soul, Jacoby Jones catching the Hail Mary.
And Eli Manning went to the Super Bowl, beat Tom Brady. Joe Flacco went to the Super Bowl, beat that incredible 49ers team.
Ooh, you want to know what you know? Oh, didn't even think about this. Joe Flacco beat Tom Brady the year in 2012 when they went to the Super Bowl. They beat them in New England in the divisional round. The very
Think
first
about
play of the game, Ray Rice went 80-yard touchdown bomb.
Think about it. Eli Manning is a glorified Joe Flacco. You want to sit here and tell me, oh, Eli Manning, Tom Brady's kryptonite. Joe Flacco has just about the same resume as Eli Manning. Just about, way less of the years. Although Joe Flacco can't beat another Tom Brady, he's not going to be able to. And he probably won't beat Patrick Mahomes either. They are similar quarterbacks in similar situations. Joe Flacco has a Tom Brady win under his belt, although it might not have been against the best offense we've ever seen, but he beat a Tom Brady-led team. Eli Manning beat him twice in the biggest game, but he also had stellar defenses. Think about it, Nate. Think about it. They both had stellar defenses. Winning, all they had to do was be competent quarterbacks. If you look at their regular season numbers, you wouldn't say, okay, this is going to be the Super Bowl winning quarterback. Because neither of them's never won an offense. Eli Manning's went to some Pro Bowls, but the Pro Bowl really became a popularity contest.
That's all it is. It's popularity contest.
It wasn't it. And I hope everyone is listening to me in this, and whoever's watching, because if this doesn't make sense, I don't know how else to put it. If you think Joe Flacco's going to make the Hall of Fame, is Joe Flacco going to make the Hall of Fame?
No.
Then why should Eli Manning?
I just gave you two reasons why.
And I just gave you the same reason Joe Flacco beat Tom Brady in a divisional.
But what was the other?
And guess who he beat the next week? Peyton Manning. He beat two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the same playoff run. And went in and won the Super Bowl with a stellar defense.
I gave you two reasons. What's the other reason?
I don't know. Tom Brady.
No, the other reason, his last name, the weight of his last name alone.
Manning. And that's probably why he will make the Hall of Fame. Is because of his last name and because he beat Tom Brady twice. But you cannot tell me that Eli Manning and Joe Flacco's resume does not add up.
Yeah.
Because look, Eli Manning only put up 21 points against New England in the second Super Bowl. I believe that was 21-17. The one in 2012. He only put up 21 points. You want to know how much Joe Flacco's offense put up in that Super Bowl?
I think it was at 34 or 35.
34 points.
Yeah.
You want to sit here and tell me that Eli Manning is this, and this. When his defense held the Patriots to 14 points and 17 points, and then Joe Flacco goes in, beats the other best team in the league, and puts 34 points on them?
Eli has one more than Joe. Sorry.
He does. You're right. But if you look at the resumes, they are almost carbon copies of
but one has one more trophy. One has one more trophy than the other one, and that's what matters. He has one more trophy than that person.
But if you look at the the Hall of Fame quarterback list, and you go all the way down, you will not, and I just looked at it earlier, you will not find a quarterback that does not have at least one All-Pro.
Oh, I got one.
Maybe Troy Aikman, but
I was just about to say, I was like, we can't say because Troy Aikman.
And that might be an exception.
Because of the fact that they won 3 in 5 years.
But he has a better resume than Eli Manning.
He doesn't even know he doesn't because look at.
And he only played 11 years.
What's his touchdown to interception ratio?
Better than Eli Manning, 61.5%.
What is it? Wait. What's his total touchdown?
165.
So like 100 and some interceptions, right?
141. But get this. He's got an 81.6 passer rating. He has a better I'm sorry, Nate, but he's got a better resume than Eli
Yeah, he
Manning.
has three more. He has
He
three
won
more.
3 Super
He won
Bowls
three more
in a
Super Bowls. On
5-year
top of that,
span.
he won 3 more Super Bowls on the fact, and the fact that Jimmy Johnson had orchestrated that Dallas Cowboy team where they ran the ball so well, and outside of running the ball, they had amazing big play receiver and Michael Irvin, where the play action will suck up the defense, and he'd be able to go ahead and throw those bombs to Michael Irvin. But Troy Aikman didn't win no games predicated on him. Like, oh man, he drove down the field and did this, that, and the other. They could put the team on his back. No, that team was carried by Emmitt Smith. So we have the Emmitt Smith and that offensive line.
No, and I agree. The Emmitt Smith did a lot. Has the highest rush. He's the highest rusher of all time. Like he's got all the accolades. But it's a different time. You have to look at the time too. It's a different time when Troy Aikman became a Hall of Famer. They eventually they got to look at, okay, well, who's left, and that's what's going to be with Eli Manning. Eli Manning will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's
I don't know
no
about
way.
I don't know
There's
about
no
first
way he'll
ballot,
be a
but
first ballot Hall
yeah,
of
I
Famer.
don't know about first ballot though.
It's gonna come to a time where, hey, we have this amount of players. Who are we going to have to represent our quarterback position for this Hall of Fame class? And eventually, it's going to land on Eli Manning.
Mm-hmm.
But Eli Manning, other than his name, he might have 2 Super Bowls over Tom Brady. But I feel like I put up a pretty good argument of other than that. Eli Manning is not a Hall of Fame quarterback, and neither is Troy Aikman. If we're being honest, neither should Troy Aikman be. But I feel like eventually they went to, okay, well, who's next? Who's going to represent our quarterback in this Hall of Fame class? And it ended up being Troy Aikman, the 3-time Super Bowl winner, a 1-time Super Bowl MVP, went to 6 Pro Bowls in 6 consecutive years, won a Man of the Year award. I mean, you just had to look at it. Although he only played 11 years in the NFL, Eli Manning played almost double that. You got to look at it and be like, okay, well, in 11 years, 3 of those were Super Bowls. You got to think, this man had over a 25% where he's going to win the Super Bowl. And that's crazy to think. When he steps on the field during the season, his team's going to win the Super Bowl 25% of the time. He's got a 25% chance to win the Super Bowl when his team steps on the field. What about Eli Manning? You can't say that. He can't step on the field and go, this is going to be a Super Bowl MVP right here. This guy's going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. No, because the most he's ever had in the season, he didn't even break 5,000 yards in the season, and that's really where you get in your bread and butter. You want to look at Peyton Manning. You want to look at Drew Brees. You want to look at Tom Brady. 5,000-yard season, they've broken it. They've broken a 5,000-yard season. Peyton Manning. Drew Brees done it multiple times. More times I can count on this finger. Drew Brees has done it. I don't know why he hadn't won MVP more than these other cats. But Eli Manning is a different story. I just gave you, hey, he's a glorified Joe Flacco. Because he is. He's a glorified Joe Flacco. You put him on the field, you put Joe Flacco on the field, you can get the same result in the regular season. And then they go to the Super Bowl, has stellar defenses, and then just win it all. Somebody had to take down Brady's offense. Somebody had to take down Manning's offense in that Super Bowl run. It wasn't Joe Flacco. It wasn't Eli Manning who took down those offenses. It was their defense that was consistently good. They played day in and day out. Ray Lewis went on that field, did his little Ed Reed was catching them freaking balls in the air. I don't even know. It was just a different story, man. And the defense, there's 2 sides of the ball, Nate. There's 2 sides to a coin.
Yeah, I give you that. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you.
You tell me offense sells tickets.
Defense
Who
wins
wins
games.
championships?
Defense wins games.